and welcome to Talk Together. This is our weekly chat show where we roll dice and we talk about D&D and other TTRPGs. I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns. I'll be your host today. And we are talking to Lola. Hello, Lola. Woo!
Hi.
Before we properly begin, this stream will run for about an hour. Thank you very much to our sponsors and supporters. We've got Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Phoenix Dice, Alchemy RPG, and our supporters, Idle Champions, Warriors of Waterdeep, Never Winter, Elderwood Academy, and D&D Beyond. They're all marvelous. They all make great stuff. You should go check them out. If you want to find us in a social place, you can find us as Roll Together RPG on the Twitters and I think the Facebook and the YouTubes and the Instagrams, not the TikToks. I know Tom is really trying to drive the instigate the TikToks, but not yet. It's not happened yet.
Soon.
Maybe. Are you on TikTok?
I am. I haven't got any content on there yet, but I am supposed to be recording something later today. So
okay,
obviously
well,
today would be tomorrow, but I don't know when I'll post it. So maybe there will be stuff, maybe there won't be.
Oh, well, watch this space or go check it out already. Who knows? We'll see. If you wanted to listen to us rather than watch us, we're also a podcast. Go find us on any of your podcatchers, search Roll Together RPG. Hello, that was it. I thought I had more to say there with our sponsor supporters. Oh no, I've not said it all. It's the D20 Club. Our D20 Club on Patreon.
Very important.
They're very, very important. I'm sorry I forgot you. You're all very wonderful. They made us like a wiki and a Discord, and they're great. And you can be as cool as them if you join them.
It's always exciting to be like, oh, my characters on the wiki.
Yeah, I'm on Wikipedia. Is that something that you always aspired to be? Is like someone who did something that I know it's not like the official Wikipedia, it's our own Roll Together wiki.
I can't say I aspired to be, but I'm like slowly. It's still weird. Obviously, this isn't like TTRPG related, but I still find it weird when people like just randomly in the street or when I go to things, I'm like, oh, you're Lola, and I'm like, yeah.
It's very weird. Like I get that from the London acting scene is very large but also very small, so there is that, like, not famous, but you go to someone and say, hi, I'm Natalie Winter, and people are like, oh that sounds familiar, like, do you know this, but how do I know? And like there'll be a chain of people that we kind of know, or that kind of thing, or I'll have seen something they did, they'll have seen something it's still weird.
Yeah, it's that weird kind of, oh yeah, you're like, people know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, I still have to laugh a little bit about the fact that when was it, 2020? Yeah, it was 2020. Like, I just had bunch of random cousins messaging me because I'd just been featured in a music video just randomly for like Pharrell and Jay-Z's Entrepreneur, and
wow.
And so there was like a 3-second clip of me in there with my usually more zany hair than this, and then I had a bunch of cousins messaging me being like, imagine my surprise, oh my god, and I'm like, sure.
That's so cool. I don't think I knew that about you. I obviously know that you do your yarn dyeing, Third Vault yarns.
Mm-hmm.
Go check them out. But I don't think I knew that you do. So you're an actor as well?
No.
Oh,
It was
okay.
literally just featuring my business, but really briefly. Yeah. So it was specifically
cool.
about Black business, that the video, and they basically took people from across the world, mm-hmm. and like featured little clips of their business, and yeah, it's like, it's really always awesome. Funny that you have a whole day of like filming for what ends up being a 2-second clip. Oh yeah.
Filming is ridiculous. Do you get, because you showcase at cons as well, right?
Yeah, I do. I did EasterCon recently, mm-hmm. the British Sci-Fi and Fantasy Convention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happens over Easter, funnily enough. So it was Reclamation 2022. Yeah.
Nice. Do you get people at cons being like, oh, I recognize you from that video, or I recognize you from the internet?
Less
or
that. People at cons just know me because I'm the one that provides the yarn.
Sure, right, yeah, fair. You're an institution now.
Pretty much.
I should so for those who are not aware, can you give us a little brief rundown of, I know we're supposed to be talking about D&D, but we'll shortly. Can you give us a little rundown of Third Vault Yarns?
Okay, so hi, I'm a massive geek, and
no. How dare you?
And I was like, how can I make this into a thing where I also get to play with color and like share that with people? And I was like, oh, maybe I could make everything I do sci-fi and fantasy inspired. So I dye wool and plant fibers inspired by sci-fi and fantasy themes, board games, some TTRPG. Yes. I also design knitwear patterns, and I have. It's not actually that close anymore because it was in 2020 that I published the last one. But like, what is time? You know?
Especially the last 2 years are just a big soup.
Yeah. So I've got 2 knitting pattern books that are inspired by board games. So basically each of the patterns take some inspiration from board games. Like my favorite shawl is the Age of Wonders shawl, if you care to look it up. But that one is obviously inspired by the game Seven Wonders. So
nice. Not to be confused with the video game Age of Wonders. Amazing.
It's just because it's the shawl is separated into 3 sections, so 3 ages, like the game. And yeah.
Nice.
But that's a good thing to have considered. I did not, like, I've played Age of Wonders when I was younger, and I just didn't think it. But yes.
Amazing. Do you, I know this is incredibly rude to throw this on you. Do you have anything like to hand? Do you have any within reach that you want to show off to us?
I mean, there is a shit ton of yarn everywhere at all times. Whether it
just
is
like a nest of yarn. I'm just like looking up your Instagram so I can like show. There's some very pretty skeins there. Is it skeins or skins?
Skeins. Like, I mean, everyone pronounces it differently, so I actually don't know. Maybe the way I pronounce it is bad. But this is, funnily enough, like this was last year's Pride colorway.
Hey, that's so cute.
It's called Pride, but like in the middle of that, it's brackets riot. So like a riot of color.
No, the blur.
Yeah. And I guess I've also got, what do we have? I've got Symbiont here, which is basically this kind of peachy color with lots of speckles, but is inspired by the scene in Star Trek Discovery where Adira Tal is basically trying to connect to her symbiont. And so there's like this very peach hue with lots of threads of different colors. So that's, nice. I mean, Symbiont's on the website so people can see it. I've already also got Empress Anima. So these are just ones that I've been working with. Empress Anima, which was inspired by a little bit of D20. Like, do love Dimension 20. And the 7 was a fantastic season. Like, love that. And I've got a little bit of Waters of Mars.
Oh, that's so pretty. I love blues and teals.
Yeah, and that's a Doctor Who one. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Have you related your needs?
Have you, I know it's more of a personal thing rather than I'm trying to sell this to other people branding thing, but have you dyed any yarns and colorways inspired by your characters? Is there a Swarovski yarn? Like, we want the purples and the oranges.
There's a gradient that I've dyed that I haven't shown to anyone.
Okay.
Because I'm like, does it feel a little bit self-aggrandizing to like be dyeing colorways inspired by myself, by my characters? That seems
that's a very British self I can't put myself out there. Like it's celebrate the nerddom, right? That's hey, I really love this thing and I made this and it's mostly for me, but you can enjoy it too if you like.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely tempting. I did dye a colorway inspired by my first D&D character that no one ever got to see, which was Rizwin, my old like fighter necromantic wizard that like died for a little bit, got revivified eventually, but this was after like Gentle Repose, and came back as a haunted, like with a new background of a haunted one and so on. And that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do Rizwin. So I did that for a little bit, but I don't have any other D&D characters, any of my D&D characters as Jan. But Toast is very tempting,
right? I want to talk about Toast a bit more in a bit, but yeah, some great colours there as well. Purple again. Is it?
I mean,
a bit of purple. No, that's Ricky. Sorry.
Yeah, Ricky is purple, but Toast is orange, and that's the thing. Orange and kind of like mottled green with like pink and green and bright green fronds. And like navy and leather, and I'm just like, how would I do this as a colorway? But Toast is very fun. So,
and before we go on to talking, I just wanted to ask finally about with the yarns, rather like, because sure, there's a lot of mileage to be had from. Here is a skein that I have dyed, and it's very pretty, and I can just hold them, and they're nice, but. Practically, I can't remember, you've probably answered this before, you crochet a knitter?
I am a knitter, but you know what, I just realised that my newest pattern, which hasn't been released yet but is getting released this month, is literally in my bag right there, and it is a D&D inspired one.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, are you feeling like giving us an exclusive?
I kind of like.
Oh, just... maybe I can fill while you go and collect that, and we can be very excited about seeing this new D&D pattern. I'm just going to keep saying words now until Lola comes back. Oh no.
I am super excited by it. It's literally just over in the corner because I've just blocked it, so other knitters will know what that means. Or crocheters, any fiber artists, but yeah.
Is that where you you'd like do little crosses and colours in for the boxes?
Oh no, it's spreading it out enough that it will thing. I have to take this off so you can actually see it. But yeah, so it's this massive shawl with a arrows at the bottom.
Cute.
But I don't know if you can see, there's this pattern across it that travels, so it goes of each color.
Oh yeah.
It shifts.
Oh, fun.
And it is called Planar Shift. So
nice.
This colorway is inspired by the Plane of Dreams. This one.
You can see that.
This one is not mine. It's from Chromatic Yarns. But this one is inspired by... Oh, wait, I've forgotten already. The ethereal plane. Mm-hmm. This was my Astral Pirates colorway. Nice. The one in the middle that's kind of reds and blues and purples.
Yeah.
And this one is the 9 Hells.
Nice.
But yeah, and I was like, this is topical because Toast is currently an Astral Pirate.
Amazing. Well, you've already got one that's like in the vicinity, and you can do one that's like specific for you. Cool. And it looks really cozy.
It is, and it's very big and it's glorious. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Are you a regular shawl wearer?
Not in this weather, but otherwise, yes.
It is June.
It's kind of
for those listening later.
Go-to for grabbing something. Like, I like the shawls because they're a lot more colourful, and often I don't tend to wear stuff that is super colourful, other than like having ridiculously colourful hair. Most times, not right now, but yeah. So yes, I tend to be a shawl wearer. a lot of the time. Or cowls and absolutely hats.
I love a cowl. Getting snuggly.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Well, I think that was lovely, but we are here to do a job.
Yeah.
And that job is to talk about D&D. So I think a D&D inspired shawl is a good segue. Let's tell you what, shall I roll a dice or should we talk about toast?
I mean, toast. I feel like
we've got to talk about toast because they're very cute. Where did the inspiration for toast come from?
I think it was that I wanted to play a ranger, and the whole thing was like, we didn't have to play Grung, but it was recommended. And I was like, okay, a Grung ranger. But like, what if they also had little frogs? And like, okay, so it has to be a Stormkeeper. Because I really loved the idea of Stormkeeper rangers. I think I was deciding between that and a dragon rider or something.
Yeah. Oh, the Drake Warden ranger.
Yes, the Drake Warden one. But then I was like, oh, but little frogs. And
but I could have little frogs.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, cool. And I was just like, I'm a big fan of bows, to be fair. Like both Swarovski and Toast use a bow. But I was just like, okay, like Toast is absolutely tiny, but I want them to use a long bow. Which is like a fucking six. I
love that image. Just like having to like pull the string just like with your whole body, like put your feet against the arch of it.
That's the thing. Like Toast is fully like the frogs, the little swarm stabilizes the bow, and like Toast uses their legs to just like do the actual shooting.
Amazing. Any ridiculous, like, cause you think, okay, grungs, they're like small, but they are so small, and especially when you're on a ship that is designed for medium-sized humanoids, there's just lots of hilarity to be had by that.
Like, I have to say, well, obviously, if you haven't watched any of them, then this is going to be massive spoilers. So I feel sorry for you. Either go and watch the others and then come back to this. But yeah, my favorite part has got to be this chair is far too big for you. No, it's not. My swarm will make me some stairs and a little seat to not seat, a little platform to kind of teeter on top of whilst I hold the...
It's such a good visual image. Like I know, like we kind of say like make fan art of that all the time, but that is like one I can just picture this chair, this like stack of little frogs, and Toast just being like, ah, brilliant scene. Amazing.
Yeah, no, I love Toast as a character. They're a lot of fun. Very silly.
And quite different to Swarovski as well, who is quite serious and professional.
Yes, so that was a kind of interesting thing, because Swarovski is very serious and professional and very driven. But like, obviously, it's not really the situation that you get to see Swarovski let loose or see the other side of Swarovski's personality. And so that's quite fun to be like, okay, well, this character has many things that's about them, but you don't necessarily get to see it all, but maybe in the future. But Toast is just like, let's just be silly about it, because Toast is young. Like, obviously so I have to clear up this like myth that is on the wiki about
the age.
Toast is older than one. They're probably about 3, so they are fully technically mature for a grung. But so there's this thing that frogs, some frogs have, is that they can decide their sex based on their environment and so on. And Toast is just like, I'm not doing that.
Fair enough.
It's just not happening. I'm just going to stay like in the kind of initial kind of frog, a tadpole-ish like form. Hence, they have a tadpole tail still, which I don't know that you can fully see it in the mini, but yeah, they do have a tail still, and that's why their skin is so mottled, because young grung, like before they actually become one, they start off with like green grey mottled green grey skin, and then it kind of changes as they begin to mature.
Yeah.
And so Toast is just like, nope, not doing it.
I'm gonna stay. I will mentally mature, but preteen forever.
Yeah.
Don't make me do it.
Yeah. It's like, well, I don't feel like it should be a thing that I have to decide, so I'm not doing it.
Absolutely. Great. I hope you're all taking notes for our impromptu grung anatomy lesson. I have learnt something new today.
Well, it's more of a frog thing, but yeah.
No. We're writing canon here, Lola.
Okay, sure.
These words are immortalized now.
Yeah.
And we need to get that wiki changed, clearly.
Yes, I've told everyone how old Toast is now, but they are still incredibly young at heart.
I was going to say, surely at 3 years old, they're still likely to be one of the youngest characters, right?
Possibly, but I think Ricky is actually, Ricky is 4, so slightly older, but we're all relatively young. Like incorrect is 5. Yeah. Like we're all young. Whilst I guess, I don't know how old Bleth is, but Bleth, no, that's a spoiler for an episode that hasn't come out yet. So I'm not going to say that. Just watch the next episode when it comes out. Yeah.
I feel like Noradom's seen things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Noradom's
has lived a life.
Seen things.
Bless. Poor Noradom.
Yeah. No, Toast is just like, I'm not doing this. And also, I don't want to be forced into like normal grung society. Because, the whole orange grung thing, like being in charge. And no. I
don't think I know anything about this at all. And this is just, I've never played a grung, so I've never really read up on the grung lore. So what is this? They change colour and get set into castes? Yeah, so the grung, as written, have a caste system, which is determined by colour. Like green grung tend to be the kind of workers. Like red grung are usually kind of particularly like warriors, but like with some level of, I might be getting this completely horribly wrong because it's been a little while since I've read it, but yeah, orange grung tend to be not like right at the top. Those are, I think, gold grung, but orange grung tend to be like more in charge of more stuff and things like that. And you've also got specific colored grung that are crafters. But yeah, it's a very intense caste system, and like there's not really any moving between castes other than like it's for something exceptional, and then it's essentially you take some kind of ritual, you do some kind of ritual that changes your color, and then the previous caste you are is completely shunned, and you become, and it's just like, wow. Not about that. No, not about that in life or in D&D. So fair enough. And what better way to stick the fingers up at a caste-based society than to go and be a space pirate? Exactly. It's like, fuck this. I'm running away to the astral sea and stowing away, and I don't want to see any more grung. Oh shit, there are several grung on the cup on this crew. I thought I'd escape this. But then it's like, oh, but they're okay. I think it's fine. I'll just kind of observe them for a bit, and then. So yeah, we know that Toast was a stowaway. That is also on the wiki if you've not seen the episode yet. Yes. But is that Toast's whole story, right? Growing up and seeing this caste system, seeing this gender flexibility thing, and just going, no, run away, stow away, and that's it? Or are there any more like hidden, like on the journey sort of bit? I mean, there's like a whole history to Toast, because obviously we're characters that are level 10. If I say level 11, maybe no, Emma will change it. Also being so young and being level 10 as well, like cramming that into 3 years.
A lot happened.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Toast did quite a few things before they made it to the Astral Sea, because, I mean, how does one just randomly make it into the Astral Sea? But yeah, so there was some intervening years. I think that Toast has probably only been with the crew for about a year. So like there's at least a year or two that so a year, well, half a year plus a year that Toast was not with this crew. So,
and that half a year was jam-packed,
intense.
It's like a very intense year. Do you think? I mean, again, we can move on if this is spoilers that you want to keep secret. But did Toast have other companions during that time, or were they just all on their lonesome?
So they've kind of been on their lonesome
a
long time. So that's why, like, they're so invested in the crew, and they really appreciate getting to be them. They're silly, like just figuring out selves with the crew. And that's really important to him, to be able to like just kind of figure out who he is as a grung or a person, I guess, with the crew, and having that kind of sort of family around them. So
yeah. It's really nice as well, especially for shorter campaigns like 4 and 6 part campaigns, where if characters know each other already and you don't because it is nice to play the like, oh, I don't know you and I have secrets and they'll come out eventually. Sure, that's fine, but in a longer campaign.
Yes, Skitter.
Whereas it's fine. I set Skitter up as I will come back to her at some point, and we can deal with those secrets later. It's fine. But like in a shorter campaign, it's really lovely to see like you are a crew already, and we can, as an audience, you can see there are like distinct relationships already in that crew, and distinct roles when it comes to not even just combat, but like schemes, right?
Yes, schemes.
who are going to be there? Who are going to be the chaos goblins that go, me, I'll do it. Oh, it's going to be Toast and Ricky. Okay.
It's not like we're the stealthiest or anything. Yeah, we're also very small and can get into lots of places.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. We've talked for nearly half an hour without rolling a dice. I feel like for the last half, I should
probably should get on those dice rolls.
Stick to something. Where are my questions? Bring me my questions. Here we go. Okay, let's roll that dice. That is a question you had last time. This one is not. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to précis this with our usual précis. What spell or ability would you have in real life other than prestidigitation? Because obviously that's the one everyone should pick.
See, the thing is, I'm like, oh shit, mending's an option. But I know it's a cantrip. It's just like...
Well, it's spell or ability, so cantrips will fall into that, or it could be... Not many people choose a class ability. A lot of people choose spells.
See, I think it's just there are so many class abilities. It depends on these. So,
if you, Lola, suddenly Lola, were a swarm keeper, what would your swarm be?
Oh, that's hard. See, I'm like, do they have to be living things?
I wouldn't say no.
Could it be like Beauty and the Beast style, inanimate objects come to life? Because if that is, then it's absolutely going to be like knitting needles and pins and scissors, like basically.
I mean, that's terrifying.
Yes, that's the whole point. And maybe there's a bolt of fabric in there as well. So that's sure. The shove. It's basically like the swarm is just like move. You know?
riding the bolt of fabric like the magic carpet. Yeah.
And being stabbed by like various knitting needles. Like I have accidentally sat on a small knitting needle before, and I have a scar to prove it.
Oh wow. Wow, a scar.
Yeah, like when they're small, they are very punctury.
Yeah, fair. I don't knit, but I do so I can sympathize, like the amount of times I've just so many little holes in my thumb and forefinger. Yeah not pleasant. So other than Swarmkeeper, because I gave you that one for free, you're welcome.
Yeah, damn. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I don't know. I mean, if it was just like spells and cantrips, like mending would be clutch, because I am very bad at being like, I mean, if I could use mending to put stuff together that wasn't already together, like I would absolutely be like, oh, I can sew up the knits I need to sew up without having to like work at it. That's my least favorite thing. Class ability. I don't know. Come back to me.
Okay. Well, let's reframe it with stuff that we're familiar with. So I've talked about the Swarmkeeper Swarm. Looking at Swaski, any of their class abilities, that Stars Druid ability, like out of all of them, which one would you be like, yes, that one? For me in real life,
I don't think that it's because it's not practical, and I am unfortunately a very practical person when it comes to like things that would be like really relevant in my life. And I mean, Swaski is absolutely the person that wants has prestidigitation, took a feat specifically so they could get prestidigitation.
I love that.
They are fancy for a reason. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, like this whole like starry form situation wouldn't really be the most practical in today. So I mean,
like walking around the street like, oh, stars again.
Oh yeah, like well, I mean, if it could be pretty cool if like it was dark and I was just like, well, I'm my own light source. Party trick.
Yeah. I'm spangly, instant disco.
Yeah, exactly. Every time they go to a party, which they love to do, just don't get to see them do it. Like they're just like, oh, we don't have mood lighting, or we don't have that. Like, it's okay, I got that covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ideal for Swaski, but is Lola the kind of person that's like,
I'm not the person that's like, oh hey, look at me.
Yeah.
No,
that sounds like a nightmare situation to me.
Sorry?
It sounds like like walking into a club and then everyone just being like, it sounds like a nightmare situation to me.
Yeah.
I mean, walking into a club sounds like a nightmare situation to me anyway. So.
It's why I'm still like, oh, people know who I am. What is that? Yeah.
Maybe they won't notice I'm covered in stars if I don't look at them. I'm going to roll the dice again. Oh,
go on.
No, I was going to say I'm going to roll the dice again, which changes the topic. So you finish what you were going to say.
Oh, it was just there's definitely something about being incredibly colourful and very bright that means that people don't actually look at you and rather everything else that you're wearing. But again,
Fair enough. Right, let's see what our next question is. It is 12. Why are TTRPGs important to you?
It's a lot of fun getting to play in fantasy realms and doing it socially. Like that's a big thing. Like I used to, especially since the pandemic, because I've definitely let TTRPG take over my life a little bit since the pandemic, because how many games did I play last week? Was it like 5 or? Yeah, so I'm in several games that are not just for altogether.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely social, and it's a lot of fun to explore fantasy realms. Sometimes the opportunity to tackle or like process topics that we deal with in real life, but within that fantasy aspect where you have a lot more control, and so on. But as well as just getting to be really silly.
Yes.
And having
absolutely.
like powers to do wild and random things that are completely like not useful in real life, but very fun in thing. And yeah, I mean, the murder hobo thing is like questionable, but I guess I don't tend to play murder hobos.
It depends on the campaign and the characters, right? Because some campaigns absolutely lean towards that being the case.
Yeah.
And then some campaigns, especially for, I think we've had quite a few roll together campaigns where the characters are trying not to fight. I mean, I particularly seem to keep playing characters that are like, I don't want to fight. Oh, okay, you're making me. Well, I'll.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've had too many campaigns where everyone was like, I don't care. Don't speak to it. Let's just kill it. I mean, they've definitely been there. But I see what you mean. Like the fun of playing that. Yeah, you can get into the serious and you can break down topics like that, especially if you're playing with a DM and a table that are sensitive about it and everyone's had a little safety chat beforehand.
Absolutely.
And know what you're getting into. That can be really great. But also on the flip side of that, getting to play absolute chaos goblins.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the flexibility in that, especially like I think at heart I am a massive chaos goblin. Like, and a lot of the time I would happily just like, I mean, that's what Toast essentially is, even though they're a frog, they are a chaos frog. Like, what is the fun thing? And but I mean, there are definitely like chaotic good at heart. I'm like,
it's the best alignment, right?
Yeah.
It's the one everyone wishes that we were, whether we are or not.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. Are characters ever actually good? The amount of like casual murdering that tends to go on in D&D when you have combat.
Now we're on to the good place question of, in this world, is it possible to truly be good when the odds are stacked against you? Like, even if you try and be vegan, say, to not eat animals or contribute to climate change, like you can't have like almond milk because it's really intensive for water or that kind of like. And then in the world of favoring, like, is it possible to truly be good when you're constantly under threat of so many things, and it's quite hard to tell in an instant whether someone just looks threatening or is actually going to try and kill you for whatever reason.
Yeah, and the whole, like, I guess don't but just D&D as a whole, obviously, like, now people are playing and making their games and different, and they're kind of adding more to it so that people aren't just, because they're this race, they're inherently bad.
Yeah.
Though the amount of people that are like, how dare you try and change that on the internet?
You're just like, well, why it doesn't affect you. It, like, if someone else changes their game to make it better, it doesn't actually affect you if you're not playing with them.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is like, and then it's like, it's because it's one of those things that as long as we make these people inherently bad, then it's totally fine just to kill them because they're bad. And then it's like, otherwise you have to wrestle with your own morality and your character's morality. And I'm like, but that's part of the beauty of it. Like, it's a whole thing.
Hello, character depth and conflict, emotional conflict. Like, heaven forfend there be emotional conflict in my stab monsters game.
Exactly. So it's one of those things. It's a very interesting question that I love examining, and definitely when I DM games or whatever, like I don't like to set anything up as, this person is evil inherently because of this. It's just like, the best villains are literally the villains that you could see yourself at is if you made different choices. Because it's so delicious to have to like force people to make those choices and stories.
Right?
Yeah.
If you think like all of the people who are into D&D are very often into things like Lord of the Rings, you know, your big sweeping fantasy epics. And picturing Lord of the Rings, yes, there are some very exciting fights in it. There are some very fun fights, big battles, good. But the stuff that you remember, it is all of like the emotional turmoil, right? It's Frodo struggling with the temptation to wear the ring. It's Aragorn and Arwen being all gooey-eyed at each other, but they can't be together. And it's all of that stuff, right? That you actually remember. So why would you restrict yourself when you are playing a game inspired by that to just the hack and slash?
Yeah, like good old Merry and Pippin as well, and the whole we are kind of trapped here to be, but we're just gonna sing beautiful sad songs. Yeah, of that,
Sweeties.
But yeah,
Speaking of Chaos Goblins.
Sorry.
Speaking of Chaos Goblins.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, I'm gonna roll a dice again. Roll that dice. That is, well, speaking of dice, that is a 13. What do dice mean to you?
Oof. Random chance. I mean, it's not completely, well, it is, but I have dice that I'm like, you're a good, do I though?
You are a good boy.
Right? Sometimes they're very good to me. Other times they're just very, very bad. Like honestly, I have had sessions where I've rolled sub 10, like for 4 hours. Yeah.
And it can be so demoralizing as well in that situation. Like, oh God, why? What have I done? Why am I cursed?
And you change your dice and it's still doing the thing. And you're just like,
it must be
who
me.
have I angered?
Well, I was going to ask where you sit on the like Rebecca to George scale of like incredibly good luck to incredibly bad luck. Rebecca's luck is just, have you played with Rebecca? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't think so, no.
It is actually insane. It's ridiculous. So, but if you were on a scale to like tends to roll ridiculously well to tends to roll ridiculously poorly, you are an all over the place. You are
I'm looking at my dice and I'm like, tell me your secrets, because they're like right next to me. It's like this bag of dice that is overflowing, and I'm just like, tell me your secrets. Roll well, my pretties, otherwise I'll put you in jail.
No, you tell them. Do you have like particular sets that you use for particular characters? Or do you just stick your hand in the bag and see what comes out?
Yeah, I have a lot of sorry ones that I use for Swarovski, which I was like, yeah. But also, I do have a dice jail. So
nice.
Roll well. Otherwise, you go in here. My partner made it for me. So
that's cute.
It literally says Lola's dice jail on top.
Amazing. And how long would you leave a dice in the dice jail?
Until I play again. So it could be like weeks. Sorry, I'm looking at my dice when I say this.
It could be weeks, children.
Clearly the Crowley school of taking like, if you are really mean to them, maybe they'll be good. Out of fear. No, I love you, really.
Can we take a tour of like random pick and mix, dip into the bag?
Sure.
Show us a pretty math rock.
I feel really bad though, because I haven't actually, like, I've got a lot of glow in the dark dice. Unfortunately, however, I haven't charged them in quite some time. So I've got like different color sets of glow in the dark dice.
Too long.
Like, how do I do dice?
Like one at a time. Well, this is the like makeup streamers do like this with a hand so it focuses, kind of thing.
There we go.
Nice.
I dropped a purple one. But yes, so these are rolling themselves.
Look, they roll. So proud.
This D20 just rolled a 4. Clearly not pleased with me.
Put it in the jail.
Yeah, and then I've
Get
got
back in your bag.
I have a few metal sets. I'm just going to grab out the D20s. It's way easier. Yeah, I've got a couple of metal sets. So there's this one that's kind of faceted, and then this kind of bronze one. They're very...
Ooh, chunky.
Yeah. Not quite table shaker size or like chunkiness, though I do want some.
They're good. And then you can go chunk.
Absolutely.
Head it together.
Absolutely. And then I've got these like...
Oh, that's pretty similar to mine, actually.
Yeah.
I think the gold and the
I
red.
think yours is more reddy. Yeah. So I've got some kind of starry ones, and these are the ones that I use for Swarovski. I've also got, I don't even know if I've got D20s, but then I've got these ones.
Nice.
I have kind of boring dice at the moment. I have so much hot eyes for all the gorgeous, gorgeous resin dice that people make. Like, I think that's something that I will eventually treat myself to, but I'm just like, but which set do I choose?
Right, there's a lot.
Quite literally, there is someone in the US that makes sushi dice, and I'm just like, I want them.
Oh yeah, with the little inside the resin. Yeah, the weirdest one I've seen of those.
They're like fully shaped sushi. Like the D4s are like
they're actually
the
shaped as well.
Yeah, like
it's not just like bits of rice and fish in a resin.
No, they look like sushi.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, oh my god.
That's
I want these dice so badly. I am so weird. But yeah, they're very cool dice.
I was going to say the weirdest ones I've seen of the resin and we put something in it. Excuse me, keep up. Sorry. Is someone's put like tiny baked beans in dice, and I'm now thinking, I feel like Sam needs to have seen those with Clint's obsession with beans. If you were a polyhedral dice, which one would you be?
I do love the diamond shape of a D8. Very into that. Either that or a D12, I think. Not quite D20, just but like
I like a D8. It's obviously very, very even, but different shapes depending on how you hold it. Yeah,
and that's what's fun about it. And also I think what it is, I just like, and now I've completely hexagons. No, yes, words, heptagons. No,
Shapes.
That's a 7.
Yes,
I don't remember what a 5-sided shape is.
Pentagon.
Pentagon. Wow.
I don't know what a 3D 5-sided. Does that work?
Oh no!
I
mean the faces. I like the face, the shape of the faces, and I was just like, I can't tell you what
I can't remember
thing is anymore. But yeah, I like the size of the faces, and like, whilst I do like the triangles, D20s are just a lot of triangles, and it's kind of like, could be better.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Honestly, triangles are overrated. They're not. Triangles
Exactly.
are the best shape, actually, but
they are very good shapes. But it's also just like I like more complex shapes in like the little faces, and that's a very weird thing to be like, oh yeah, so this is why I like this shape, this particular dice.
What are we here for, Lola, if not to ask these hard-hitting questions about shapes without having anything more than GCSE maths to support these arguments? Well, in my case, at least.
I have A-level maths.
Well, there you go.
To be fair, I have both A-level maths and also computer science maths. And it's just like, so obviously we had to do a ton of maths to be able to program computers to do the maths. And once you've done the ton of maths, then you don't have to do any more maths at all. So it's just like, oh, you have to have a basic understanding about how you make the computer do it now. But yeah,
that's my kind of maths. Outsource it to someone else.
Yeah,
I think we've got time for a couple more questions, so I'm going to roll that dice again. Here we go. We've had that one. Okay. What is your most epic character moment? That was a number 1.
Gosh, so many moments.
I floored you.
Epic though. that's the challenge. It's like, what
Right.
is epic? How do we define it? Like, I am big on the it's not a character moment. It's literally just the being like, oh, but a slide though.
That was a really fun moment. I could do the thing we're supposed to be doing, or I could go around the slide again.
Right? Yeah, I think that's one of Toad's big things. Is like they just enjoy getting to be a kid because it's not a thing in growing society. Yeah, so yeah, so it's like that was a lot of fun. I don't think that my characters have had any particularly epic moments as yet.
Oh, fair enough. Well, maybe Toast needs to embrace the Chaos Goblin and
there's a lot
dive off
to
a ship.
happen.
Well, you know more than we do. So you've definitely got so we've got episode 3 of Anarchy is coming out on Monday.
Yes,
we've got 4 more episodes of Chaos to come.
Yes, beautiful Chaos. So I can't spoil you with anything, but
of course, I couldn't possibly expect you to.
Yeah, perhaps there might be some epic moments in the future. I don't know. I don't know.
Such tease.
I couldn't say.
Are they going to be as epic as Swarovski going, oh, that's a bit much actually, and just hiding in an alleyway while the rest of us get beat up?
Is that epic or is that just like...
No, that was sarcasm.
It was very like, oh no, I am so close to death. I have not experienced this. I'm going to hide. Okay.
I think it's time to get real friendly with this alleyway.
Absolutely. Ignore the fact that I'm fucking glowing.
I am the night.
Yeah. That was an intense combat. Those combats were like...
M did not hold back.
No. M does not hold back in general. So
no, that's fun.
Let that be a thing.
I love a little bit of peril. One day I'm going to stop playing frontliners that are just constantly yo-yoing up and down. Yeah.
Like honestly, I can say in the dragon situation with the ship, that was kind of hairy too. I can tell you that there are future combats that are just as hairy, if not more, And
I look forward to them. Right.
I hope everyone else loves the absolute chaos that is Anarchy in the Austral Sea.
Well, I do, even if no one else does. Yeah. I've just rolled 3 16s in a row, which is not even helpful because we've had that question.
No.
Oh my God.
Another one?
That was another 16. What are the...
I mean,
A-level maths.
I want to preserve that energy for like the next game. But...
Right? I'm going to be using these later for the next recording of Merc and Draw Bog, and I hope I've not used up all of my 16s. I mean, I really want to be rolling higher, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I need a dice jail, I think. Okay.
Really? Again with a 16?
No, we're down to a 7 now.
Oh, okay.
So this is quite a chunky one to get into last minute. So we'll see. Is there a moment in a TTRPG that impacted your life out of game?
Okay, so it's a home game, but I don't think I'd ever felt so invested in a character kind of family type thing, in the sense that so this home game that we were playing, and it was this kind of big finale type BBG battle moment, but this was also one that was particularly we were tackling a lot of real world issues within the game as well, and it was just one of our party members who essentially the setup was like the party members were essentially your family. Like, these are the people that we grew up with. These were our ride and die people. Like, even if you fought or argued they would still always be there for you regardless. And we lost that party member in this, like one of our party members, and it was because the character had made a very character like related stupid choice, but it was just like actively, there was a whole lot of processing in terms of the game as well, but it was just that kind of loss of, it was just like, yeah. And I still play with the same people. It was just one character, but it was just a very, very emotional moment that like we all then kind of stood back and processed, given the backdrop of like what was happening around it. And it was very much kind of like, you did a bad thing in terms of like our safety, especially when we were all going to go do the thing. But and you going off on your own, bad. But it was for the right reasons. And yeah, we eventually did the thing that saved that like little small microcosm of the people that we needed to save. But just it's just that reminder that even if you're trying to do the right thing, it's incredibly hard and you may lose things along the way, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it to do the right thing.
Yeah. Oh, what a good message. Feels like such a poignant message to send us off on. It's the sense of emotional inertia as well. It's something I talk about a lot, like especially like a shared experience. Did you all like have a little moment? Did you have an in-game sort of moment of acknowledgement for?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For that character, yeah.
It wasn't until the battle had kind of ended, but it definitely changed how we address the combat and like the decisions we made after that had happened within the combat. But yeah, there was a whole lot of character processing together, even though that ended up being the last episode, that the last kind of time we played that campaign, because that symbolized the end. But it's also was really helpful to kind of talk it through and then also be like, okay, so what would our characters then do after that? Like, what would our plans be for the future? And how has that changed, like what our characters?
Amazing. Right, I think that's us about out of time. Do you, Lola, have anything to? We've talked a lot about Third Vault yarns. We've talked a lot about Toast, but do you want to talk about them again? Give them a last little plug.
Sure.
Or anything else that you would like to talk about? No? Okay. Buy yarn, watch frogs.
Yeah, I dye yarn, design patterns, and I play TTRPG stuff, sometimes online, definitely for Roll Together, sometimes maybe for other people.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, I did a charity stream a while back playing in the world of Coyote and Crow, which was pretty fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I do other things other than just play D&D.
Sure, I don't believe you. Can we find that stream online somewhere? Is that available to watch again still?
Yes, it's from Fool's Moon, and that's their Twitch. I think it's now been put onto YouTube, and there might be like a very brief thing of me DMing to.
Oh, that's fun.
Not Coyote and Crow, but DMing a homebrew thing that I have been writing.
Nice. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's definitely worth checking out then.
Yeah. Oh, and I'd like probably by the end of this year, I might have a published campaign or something like that. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll shout about that when that happens. Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone else for joining us about this chat. Joining us about this chat. Joining us for this chat.
For this chat. Yeah.
About many things.
Yeah, thanks for listening to me ramble on.
And I encouraged you, so it's fine. This was Talk Together. We talked together. It runs on Fridays from about 6 till 7 BST, currently BST. We stream D&D games on Mondays and Tuesdays from 6 till 9 p.m. BST. Next week, we have on Monday the continuation of Anarchy in the Astral Sea, where we expect frogs, chaos, exciting fights, all sorts. Terrible ships that want to eat souls and are very terribly polite about it.
The ship is a big purple people eater of souls. Too is pretty awesome. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's just a running thing that Toast does not remember the acronym. Oh well.
Amazing. So watch that on Mondays. On Tuesdays, we've got Liz's campaign, The Last Resort of Mercandraw Bog, which I'm in. My granny, Valka, the barbarian, who's definitely only just a barbarian and isn't accidentally a warlock now as well. Isn't everyone a secret warlock now, though, right? Everyone takes a little dip into a warlock now and again. Just a cheeky little dip. All of our shows stream here at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg but if you're not watching it there, you might be watching it on YouTube. VODs are available immediately after the stream to catch up on Twitch or YouTube a few days later, and podcasts as well. You might be listening there as well. Hello, podcast listeners. And a big thank you to D20 Club. Again, they're all incredible. If you'd like to support us as well, you can do so from as little as one of your local currencies per month. And thank you to all our sponsors and our supporters. And as always, do you want to say it with me, Lola? Do you know the end of the catchphrase? Have I thrown you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, great, good.
Oh no.
Maybe if I say it slowly, you'll know what I'm about to say and you can join in. Stay. You're not joining it. Okay. Classy.
Oh, okay.
At.
Stay classy at
the
table.
Hey.